Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. This is Gabe.
And this is Caleb,
And how does every great podcast start?
an icebreaker.
Absolutely. So today's icebreaker, which is just really a question of the day. Um, when it comes to so we're recording on Father's Day, so I just wanted to reiterate that's why I'm asking a Father's Day related question. Also, happy Father's Day, happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers that are watching. Um,
hmm
if if there's a dog dad that's viewing right now, um, do they count as a father, and why?
All right, personally, as someone who has a dog, I am gonna say no.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's levels to this thing. Maybe if you really want to argue, I'm not gonna say you're gonna argue.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that there's so much that goes into actually having a child. Starting off, it is an actual child. Second of all, the bills are way different with a kid than with
Mm-hmm.
a dog.
Right.
I mean, I pay pet rent, I pay for dog food. That's about it. Just
Okay.
occasionally go clip her nails. I don't want to take away from the actual dads. So
Yeah.
in a real argument, I'm gonna say no. But I mean, like I said, it's
So
nothing like hot topic of the year.
yeah. So you're saying it's removing the validity from an actual father if you claim that you're a dog dad when you have a dog, or if you're
Well,
claiming
no,
that
you
you're a
can,
dad.
right. You can
Yeah.
be a dog dad, whatever. If
Right.
that's the term you like, then that's you. But that's a different. That's why it's called a dog dad and not a dad.
Yeah. I have a pair of slippers in my room that say dog dad on them. Riley got them for me like 2 years ago, but
Oh,
yeah. No, that's
so
fun.
this is a touchy subject.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't
Oh,
care personally. She got them for me. I didn't
well,
ask for them.
well, you need to pick a side because it was your icebreaker.
All right.
So,
So going into today's episode, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So what I was saying, what I was thinking is, when it comes to dogs, um,
mhm.
female and male dogs are totally different. So I've had male dogs like my whole life, and they're pretty much just like a bro. Like they're just a friend, right? Like whatever. They're gonna go pee off the porch and drink a beer. But female dogs are like, you need to pet me right now. I need a coffee and let me go see my friends. And they're like constant go go go, whereas the guy dog is just chill. Sit. What are you smiling at, dude? Say
Well, it's
something.
just first of all, it's funny, but second of all, my dog is kind of in between because
Mm-hmm.
she's moody, but she just kind of chills out with everybody.
Okay.
But that's kind of what old age does to you, I guess. Just
Yep.
as a dog, you just want to hang out with everybody.
Yep.
But she has a lot of energy for an older dog.
Yep.
But
So
she's right in between.
yeah, yeah. So I think it's grounds to say that you're a dog dad, or that's like, celebrate me for Father's Day if you have a female dog. But if you have a guy dog, that's just a friend, right? So, all right.
All
So
right, we've cleared that one up.
yeah. So going into today's episode, usually we try to tie in the icebreaker with the episode. We didn't do that today. So
Well, we don't always do it for like holidays, you
yeah,
know.
right. Happy
So
holidays, everybody. Once again, happy Father's Day. Thank you all. We appreciate you so much. And going into today's episode, we are going to be talking about the difference, we'll say the difference of finding your purpose and creating your purpose, right? So, we'll go into it. I guess, Caleb, I'll just throw something at you. What is a
okay.
purpose?
A purpose is a driving force. It's kind of like I don't know if someone asked me what a purpose was, I would say it's kind of like a book title of your book.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that can summarize you or drive you. It's just it's you, kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what it's what motivates you, it's what inspires you, it's what gets you out of bed in the morning. And yeah, ultimately it's you, right? Like Caleb said. So, today we're going to be talking about juggling the two, of whether you want to find your purpose or whether you want to create your purpose, and what the difference is there, how they look, and etc. Right? So, going into your purpose, first of all, have you found it?
Yeah, I have. And this is where, I'll try to keep it a little shorter just because it's more of a personal thing.
Yeah, yeah,
But as I've said in the previous episode, I've been really working on my um, spiritual religious relationship,
yeah.
and that with God, and that's been kind of my purpose lately. Um, but I don't know. To me, I think there's multiple. It's like a multifaceted term,
Mm-hmm.
purpose,
Right,
because you could have the purpose of your life, and then you can have the purpose of your work. I don't necessarily think those are going to be the same thing.
right.
And I kind of wanted to view purpose in this episode a little more towards work, just
Mm-hmm.
because it's a little easier to kind of
Yeah,
define and keep it, like in kind of a ballpark
yeah.
area to discuss it.
Yep,
If that makes sense.
it does. Yeah. I got what you're
I mean,
saying.
what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. I mean, when it comes to human beings and when it comes to the whole spectrum of life, it is so hard to define purpose. And like you said, it's multifaceted. Like, um, people change, emotions change, your ideas on things change. So it's hard to say that what I enjoy doing in my 20s is going to be my purpose for my life. Or or maybe we're being naive and by saying that I just enjoy something in my 20s and I'm not going to enjoy it in my 30s and maybe it's not my purpose because of that, right? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, yeah, all the time. And one thing people say about setting goals is that you don't always set the goals to actually accomplish those specific goals when they're long term,
Mhm.
because so much is going to change between this moment and when you've set those goals that you might not even want those goals in 5 years from now that you
Right.
thought you wanted. And that's happened to me plenty of times before. I'll set a goal for maybe it's a new hobby, and I'll be like, hey, I really want to pursue this and get good at it, and then I actually sit down and start practicing. I'm like, why am I wasting my time with this? I
Yeah.
don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
And just kind of drop the hobby or whatever it is I was trying to pick up.
Yep.
So absolutely, things completely change. I think that's, one thing we've talked about is if there's one thing you can know, it's that everything's going to change.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's really funny that you bring that up though. Like how you start a passion, like a passion project kind of thing and um slowly you start to get into it and then you're like, "Ah, it's just not for me," right? And you kind of discard it. And I think that's a very good trait to have. That really sets you apart from a lot of people because a lot of people more so are just scared to try. And
Hmm.
I know I've tried a lot this year. I've been really trying to expand what I can do. And I remember I had a call with a guy. This was like out of nowhere. I love new opportunities. I love finding new stuff. But I was talking to this guy, and he sells solar panels, and he's like, "Do you want to
Hmm.
try it?" And he's like, "You got to take a class. You got to sign up for the registration, do all this stuff." And I was like, "Why not? Let's try it." And so I did all the classes, got certified, and then I did like a month of it, and just didn't have fun. And I was like, you know what? No, not for me, right? And it's as easy as that. I don't think people should be so hard on themselves for trying things and and discarding them because it doesn't make you indecisive. That actually, in my opinion, it makes you decisive, right? You're able to decide if you want to try something. You're taking action, and you're deciding that it's not for you. And I think that that is an awesome trait to have.
Yeah, and I think it's really important when it comes to something as big as your purpose, is that it's going to be trial and error. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
don't know everything we're capable of, but we know we can all recognize that we have our own strengths, right?
Yep.
Like, you're not going to ask a fish to climb up a tree or a monkey to swim across the ocean, right? Because they
Okay,
have two
Albert
different
Einstein.
purposes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think I can't remember what episode number it was, but I think we've made that exact reference.
Yeah.
Um, it was never too late to start. You remember that
Okay.
episode?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
we're
Sweet,
getting there.
dude.
We're getting
Yeah.
back.
Yep. You been
Um,
studying?
yeah,
Yeah.
the history of positive outlook.
Yeah. We're gonna be in the history books.
Um,
No, we're not.
but uh, but the whole thing is it's trial and error. I mean,
Yeah.
you find something that's of interest to you, you pick it up, you start doing it more and more, and then you make that decision. You reflect on your time with it. Does it feel like a waste of time? I've really always wanted to learn how to play the guitar, but I've also never actually wanted to learn how to play the
Mm-hmm.
guitar. That's something that I've learned
Yep.
because I've had a guitar for years.
Yep.
I know the same 4, like, one-chord songs.
Yep.
So,
I've seen
guitar
I've seen that guitar
might not be
listed.
for me.
I've seen that guitar listed on Facebook like 6 times.
Well, it doesn't
In
help
the
my
past.
Facebook got
In the
hacked,
past.
so
Yeah. Your hacker's trying to sell it for you too, man. Like,
yeah,
it's there.
hopefully, get rid of it.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so speaking of like that kind of stuff. So when you're doing it, and same thing, dude, I've tried to learn the guitar as well. And like I I just didn't enjoy it. And
Right, like, I know that we are more than capable of learning the guitar.
yeah,
It would just take a little time and persistence, but
right.
as I'm putting in more and more time, my mind starts jumping to other things, and that's when I recognize, "Okay,
Yeah.
either this isn't for me, or, and this is a big one, this isn't for me now,"
Yep.
which is completely okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's for me later, maybe, I'm retired, I'm bored, hey, I'll learn how to play guitar.
Yeah. Right.
But, until then, I'm still searching for that next hobby.
Yeah. So, funny thing is though, I just started playing piano like 3 days ago.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, 3 days. So on the 13th is when I was like, dude, I'm gonna try and apply myself and learn how to play a freaking piano because they sound beautiful. I've
Mhm.
been like seeing people play and whatever. So I found this guy on YouTube that does like courses and teaches you everything. So right now I'm just learning chord progressions. And when I'm playing the piano and I'm like jumping between chords, yeah, like this is sick. And I'm like going from a C to an A, and I'm like saying it out loud, like getting into it, and it
Mhm.
feels good. It's like exciting for me. And I think those are like the kind of things that you should be looking for in life.
Yeah, and another thing that kind of stimulated in my brain was, it's really important to also recognize that not everything about your purpose is gonna be things you like to do. And that's kinda where you also kinda have to say, "Hold on," and, like, "Let's take a couple steps back really quick," because I just said, "I really want to play guitar, but I don't like to, so I give up on it."
Mhm.
Well, that's different. We're not saying, "Oh, go try something. If you don't like it or it doesn't work out, just give up."
Right.
It was a long time that I tried playing guitar over and over and over again, and there's no excuse by now that I shouldn't be crazy at the guitar.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between recognizing things that are not worth the time that you have to put in,
Yep.
and that's very personal. That's where it gets because me personally, this, Gabe, I am terrible at video games in general. Like, I'm
Yep.
really good at sports video games,
Yeah.
and I'm terrible at any other kind of video game. And I'm now at the point where I just don't want to put in all of those hours to
Yeah.
try and like catch up and be as good as my friends.
Right.
So kind of back to what I was saying though, there's going to be things about your purpose that you're not going to like. I mean, that's life. That
Mhm.
is life, and you have to remember that because the first time I went into the gym, like to work out for myself, not school related, not sports related,
Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan, but I kept going. And just like we said way back in episode 2, after 66 days, all of a sudden, I loved the gym. I was
Yep.
obsessed with the gym. I couldn't stop going. So sometimes you need that grit to get the ball rolling,
Yeah.
and then once you've had enough time, then you get to decide, is this something for me or is this not for me?
Right, right. Because initially when you're looking at the project, you have a want. You have a level of want. Sometimes it's a level of need, but most of the time it's a level of want. You don't want difficulty. You don't want obstacles. You don't want adversity. But to get the goal, to get that objective, you have to overcome those things. Anything worth having in life isn't going to be easy, and that is so important to understand when you're starting a new task. And I think that's pretty much just the sum of what Caleb was just saying.
Because they say it takes about 10,000 hours to master something.
Mm-hmm.
10,000 hours
It's a
of
lot.
focused work on one thing. That is insanity.
I wanna do the math on that real quick. 10,000 hours. So if you've been at a job for 5 years, you are a master at what you do. So
Or you
congratulations.
should be, or you should be.
True. Should be.
So if you're looking for a complacency killer, right there,
Yep.
right there.
Yep. So, um, yeah.
But I think it's really important because we're kind of in that fast food culture mindset where we want everything now.
Instant
And
gratification.
yeah, and it is difficult to take that the step back and
Mm-hmm.
have that patience for something to grow. I mean, basically what I like to think of your purpose, think of you're in a garden, you plant a seed. Now you have to put the work in to keep that seed safe and healthy so it can grow, so it can provide you with something back.
Yep.
It's going to take time. You're going to have setbacks. Maybe an animal gets into your garden, eats up all your seeds, and you got to restart. That's rough, but you have to restart, and you'll always yield whatever work you put into it.
Yep.
So even like for example, the guitar, right? I didn't really learn how to play the guitar, but I put a good amount of hours into it, and it's helped a lot with playing the piano. It's helped a lot with being able to fake play guitar when a song comes on.
Yep. I did that. I
But
did
you'll
that
always,
yesterday. It was funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll always get something out of something if you put something into it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Right. You only get out. Wait, what is it? You only get out of something what you put in.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah. Yeah.
And and it doesn't have to be like the exact skills. It's more of the bigger picture. It's the fact that you tried something new, you were adventurous, you have this new experience,
Yep.
and then after a certain amount of time, you've either decided this is what you want to do, amazing, or you've now learned something about yourself. Hey, I was not meant to be playing the guitar.
Yeah.
That was not my thing. And yeah, we can kind of start going jumping back to like the original where you said finding versus creating.
Yeah.
But to me, that's kind of down the middle, because I think we all have a purpose. We just have to create our pathway to that purpose. And so I think personally, sometimes the best way to create one is just trying new things
Yep.
over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's not like trying to be the jack of all trades. You don't have to do everything,
Yeah.
but you should definitely, if you don't have that driving force, start trying new things. Because one, it's exciting. Two, like okay, you also know me on this one. This is a new one that I am getting better at currently.
Mm-hmm.
Longboarding. It's not something I've ever done before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tall. They say tall guys should never be on a longboard,
Yeah.
and my balance is kind of wobbly, but I love just kind of zooming down the hills outside on a nice day.
Yeah.
Super peaceful, and I've decided, you know what, I'm gonna get good at this, and so I've been practicing. I've been practicing, and I've fallen a lot less, and it's
Yeah.
getting more fun.
Yep.
So it's the sometimes it is really the little things because they can highlight all the areas of your life in different ways that you need to work on, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I've been doing is I keep telling people, "Oh, it's such a nice day to longboard," and then I don't go out and longboard.
Yeah.
Okay, well that kind of highlights one key thing that I've been doing throughout in my everyday habits.
Yeah. Right. I think in another topic I wanted to touch on was
Hmm.
for um I don't know. I don't want to beat around the bush. It's pretty much just those in life that claim they're a victim of circumstance and that because of their situation or because of how their life has started and where it's at now, they don't know who they are. They don't know what their purpose is, and they see it as a bad thing. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't know what your purpose is and you're not sure where to go in life, that is so exciting. That is something that you can take a step back and say I'm not sure what my path is yet. I don't know what the blueprint for my life is yet, but I'm fucking excited to figure out what I'm going to do in my life and what I'm going to create of myself. And I think we really need to twist the mindset on that and just understand that life is unfair, man. I've had such a fair share of stuff in my life that I could sit and cry about and I could complain and let it take over my life, but I'm not doing that because the only person that's hurting is me, right? That's only going to hurt yourself. You need to take a step back and say, "Okay, well through all this pain, through all this loss, what have I gained? What perspectives do I have now?" And I'm telling you, dude, I've been through a ton of shit in my life, a lot of stuff I haven't shared, and it has made me such a it gives me such good perspective where I see somebody just being an asshole, right? Someone could be in town just being a dick. They're mean to me, they're mean to everybody. And I stop and my first thought is always, man, that poor guy, he's probably got something going on. And like what can I do to make his day better? You know what I mean? Like that's always the first thing. So think of it as a superpower. All of these things that have wronged you in your life and all the pain and loss and the trauma and everything like that, use it. You're suffering from it, and the only thing that's hurting is you. It's only hurting yourself. Twist it and say, okay, I overcame all of this already. Imagine who I can become tomorrow, and just use it. It's a superpower. It really is.
Start using your excuses as reasons.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, they let them motivate you. Like
Hmm.
think of all of this stuff that has tried to tear you down. And it's just life, right? Life's going to kick you down and you'll stay there if you let it. You need to get back up. You need to understand that you're going to keep getting kicked down, and that is just life. But it is up to you to stand back up because you need to do it for you.
And so let's say you're on track to find your purpose. Everything's kind of coming together, and then boom, big wrecking ball comes in, blows it all out. You now are lost. You feel like you're back at square one. Well, now, well, first of all, you're not at square one because the fact that you had something built up,
Mhm.
it's a lot easier to build a second house than a first one
Yep.
because once you've had the experience of what goes where and how to build that foundation up, that's something you can never forget.
Right.
That's wisdom, that's experience.
Yeah.
That's something that you need to hold on to no matter what because all these materialistic things are going to go away at some point.
Yep.
All right. I'm not really that much of a materialistic person. I have a materialistic side. I think a lot of people do. I try not to give into it too much because to me, it doesn't matter what I have
Mhm.
as far as physical things. It's more of the experiences that I've picked up, the things that I've learned,
Right.
the memories I can carry. So the fact that you've gone through something and have to restart to me is almost more exciting. If
Yeah.
Gabe and I lost the podcast today, I think tomorrow we would have it built up to what took us 3 years in at least half the time, at
Yeah.
least.
For sure, if not quicker. Because of we've been through it. I'm telling you, it is a superpower to have gone through shit. It sucks going through it, and it sucks that it happens and living with those ghosts, but it's seriously a superpower, and we need to twist our mindset to overcome them.
And a lot of people when they hear that, they think, "Oh, well, it's easier said than done," or easy for you to say.
Yeah.
And you're right, there are some horrible things that you could have gone through, but it's never you're never too far gone. If you're on this planet, you still have time, and anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. All it starts with is the baby steps.
Yeah.
And that's where people lose interest because when you work on baby steps, you don't see that much progress.
Right.
There is progress, I promise you, but you don't see the progress, you don't track the progress, and you never get a chance to see how far you've come.
Yeah.
I've seen this happen to so many people around me that are struggling with some very serious issues where they have baby stepped their way up to a plateau and they're
Mhm.
kind of stuck there. And I personally, from an outside source, can see the growth, but
Mhm.
they don't recognize it. To them, they think everything's still the same. You have to be able to understand how far you've come. But the point is, anybody can get started. Anybody at any time. If you're on the planet, then get moving. You have no excuses in front of you because all you have on this planet is time and experience. And time is always going down.
Yep.
So you might as well increase the experiences while you're here in as many different ways as you can and find or create your way to your purpose. And I mean, yeah, it's really not rocket science. It's just kind of difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, ultimately, we take the step back. Look, guys, yes, sometimes life sucks, but it's not anybody else's job to make it rock. Life is what you make it, so let's make it rock. Am I right? Name the quote, Caleb. No way.
Let's make it rock.
Come on, guys, we're gonna yell at Caleb for not knowing that that was Hannah Montana. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
man.
Ah.
Well, there you go. That's why I didn't know that one.
All right. Anyway, do you have anything else you want to add to today's episode?
Yeah, one thing I'd like to say is this episode, first of all, completely off the dome. So this was me and Gabe just talking, and I think it was awesome.
Yep.
Second of all, I would like to say that this it seemed a little less structured, but I actually really liked the way it was
Yeah.
structured. Because how we talked about it's a little different than how we've been discussing.
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of been more giving anecdotal evidence of,
Right.
look, really the gist of the whole episode, go try something. Try
Mm-hmm.
something new, try it for a certain amount of time, start putting time into it, and then decide if it's an asset or a liability. Is it giving your life more or less? And then
Yep.
drop it or go find another one and
Yep.
repeat over and over and over again. And eventually you will come across that one thing or a few things that you're really good at naturally, or maybe you're not because, like, I wasn't very good at a lot of things I've started. Maybe you're not very good at it, but the moment you start getting better, it's addicting. It becomes an obsession.
Yes.
And so just keep going until you find something that gets you out of bed quicker,
Yep.
that gets you up before everyone else to go work on it. Whatever it is, just keep searching because it is out there. I promise you that.
And if you claim that you're a victim of circumstance, create a new circumstance. And that new circumstance will be a beautiful life. Right? Whatever you've been through in life, whatever trauma, whatever it is a superpower. Use it, please. It is so important. Anything else, Caleb?
Guys, it's time to go find your purpose. Do whatever you have to do. Create your pathway. This is your life, and if you've been in a rut, start turning it around now. It's
Yep.
never too late. I don't care if you're 70 something years old and you still feel like you haven't found your purpose. As I said earlier, if you are still on this planet, you have time. Get moving. That's
Absolutely.
it.
Amen, brother. All right. Well, happy Monday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Happy Monday.
Peace.